In this video, I'm gonna show you how we can create 3D pixel explosion using Photoshop. So let's get started. Hey, what's up guys, Dhruval here, and as you can see, this is the final output and this is the stock image that I'm going to use. I found this stock image on deviantart.com, and if you want to use the same image, the download link is in video description, so feel free to use it. Now to create this effect, first of all we need to create a really wide frame. To do that, I'm gonna select my crop tool from here, as you can see. And first of all, let's hide this branding over here and a little bit there. And now after that, as you can see, I have this option here, delete crop pixel. It is unchecked, so make sure that it is unchecked. Now after that, we have covered this from here. Now we need to extend it. To do that, I'm gonna hold my Alt key and then I will drag it from here, so it will stretch it from both sides instead of just a single one. So let's stretch it a little bit. That seems nice, and I'm making it a widescreen so that we have enough space to make the pieces for the pieces that gonna fly in the air. Now this is ready, and as you can see, it looks really nice. Now I'm gonna create a new blank layer from this second last icon here and put this under my layer 0. Then I will go to my paint bucket tool. You have to right click here and select paint bucket tool, and I will fill in black color. Oops, my foreground color is different, so I'm gonna make sure it's black, and then let's fill it. Good. Now I'm gonna select my layer 0 and then apply a layer mask, this third option from here. Now what we're basically gonna do is erase the unnecessary part. Now in layer mask, you have to paint with black color to erase something, so as you can see, and now I'm gonna erase it. And as you can see, my brush is really soft, so if you look here, as you can see, hardness is 0%, and I'm gonna erase it from this side too. From this side, I'm gonna erase it until I reach her face. As you can see, I don't want any kind of hair, so that the piece that will fly will look really nice. Now if you say you mess up something and if you want to bring something back, all you have to do is just paint with white color and you can bring that part back. And with black color, as you can see, you can remove it anytime you want. You can use X key to flip between your colors so that you can save some time. So I'm gonna erase it a little bit here and we are good to go. So as you can see, it looks really nice and fading in the background. Now we need to create a pattern that will become the blocks that will fly away. So to do that, I'm going to go to File and create a new document. And in the document, as you can see, my height and width are 20 pixel, and the resolution, let's make it I don't know, 100 pixel. Looks really nice, and hit OK. As you can see, this is a really tiny document, and I'm gonna make my brush size 1 pixel. Yes, completely 1 pixel. Then I will click once here, hold my shift key and click here. Now I still have not released my shift key, it is still on, and then I will click on this corner. So as you can see, we created a straight L shape. Now to turn it into a pattern, I'm gonna go to my edit and define pattern, and let's name it box pattern for two. Looks nice, hit OK. Now let's go back to our original document here. Now I'm gonna create a new layer, new blank layer, and then I will fill in the white color in that. So let's say like paint bucket and fill in the white color. Now to apply the pattern, I'm gonna double click here on my layer 2 and I will select a pattern overlay. Now in the pattern, if you scroll down at the end, there will be a pattern that you just created. So as you can see, we have this pattern here, but it is really tiny, so I'm gonna make it as big as possible. So yeah, that looks nice. It is still a bit smaller, but we have solution for that. So hit OK. So at the max size, it is still small. Now to make the pattern bigger, first thing you have to do is right click on this layer and select rasterize it. So it will apply the pattern and it will become a single layer with pattern on it. Now then I'm gonna press Ctrl T and then I will hold my Alt and Shift key and then I will make it bigger from this corner. So as you can see, it is getting bigger but from all the sides, so that is really helpful. So slightly more bigger, and that looks really nice, and confirm it. Now we need to get rid of this white color because we just need the black boxes. So to do that, I'm gonna go and select my color range. So go to select options and select color range, and select white color, and as you can see my fuzziness is all the way up to 200%, and then hit OK. Now just simply press delete key and it will go away. Now to get rid of the selection, I will go to select and then I will go to deselect. So as you can see, we just have this simple box patterns here. Now we do not need it on entire image. So to get rid of that, just simply use the eraser tool and then I will remove it from everywhere. So as you can see, my eraser is also, as you can see, it is really smaller, and to make this bigger and smaller I'm using my bracket keys. As you can see, this one makes smaller, this one makes bigger. So remove it, and do not completely remove it until you are near, like, yeah, when you're near the nose, don't completely remove it. This looks nice, and I'm gonna do the same thing here, but this time I'm not gonna erase it completely. I'm gonna leave it till here. Now if you remember, our pattern was really big and it was also outside the frame. So if I select my move tool and move it around, we have the rest of the area. But we do not need that. All we need is just this portion. So to get rid of that, again select your crop tool and this time click on delete crop pixel and just hit enter. And when it shows you something like this, the area that you are going to delete, just again hit enter and it will be gone. So now if I remove my pattern, there is only this portion and the rest of the area is completely gone. So as you can see, this looks nice, but we can make it better. To do that, I'm gonna press Ctrl T and then I'm gonna right click and select warp. So this will allow me to like rotate the angle of this shape, and then I'm gonna put this again back here and this here. So this can take a little bit of trial and error. So let's put it here and a little bit here, and then again I'm gonna move it from this angle. I want this line to be aligned with the face, as you can see this line here. So I'm gonna rotate it even a little bit more, and then let's go and adjust it here too. But as you can see, this one has gone away, so I'm gonna drag this one to its place. So it will take some time, so I'm just gonna fast forward it. So now as you can see, it looks really nice, and it will take it time, so be careful and have some patience. And once you think that it looks really nice, all you have to do is just go here and confirm it. So it will apply its shape and it will take its time. So as you can see, now it looks really nice, and now we can remove the unnecessary parts that we don't need. So I'm just gonna go and simply here remove it here, and as you can see, I'm taking really good care of the edges. As you can see here, take your time, don't rush it too much, and then I'm gonna erase it from here too, from the outside, so it looks like that it is actually wrapped around the face, and that looks really nice. And then I can also like move it slightly on this side so it matches the face properly, and that looks really nice. Now the basic layout looks good, and it's time to create the 3D pixels. So to do that, I'm gonna create a new blank layer, and creating the new blank layer is really crucial part. Do not forget about that. And I'm gonna name this layer 3 black boxes, or you can name it pixels, whatever you prefer. It doesn't have to be something like this. So now go and select your polygon lasso tool from here, and then as you can see, you have this black dots at every corner. So you have to exactly click on that one, and then when you reach on this where you started, double click and it will turn it into a selection. So this way you have to create different boxes, and take your time. And as you can see, since we wrapped it around, so when we will cut it, as you can see here and a bit here and here, we're good to go. So this way you can create as many boxes as you want. And sometimes let's say you mess up something, or you have this tail here that annoys you, all you have to do is just press backspace and it will go away. Not a big deal. So let's create one more box here. For the sake of tutorial, I have chosen quite bigger boxes, as you can see. So I will recommend using slightly smaller boxes than you. It will take a pretty good amount of time to decide which box to use, but it's gonna be really helpful. And for the edges, as you can see here, we don't have any guidelines, so just simply click on this edge from this portion and then here. So this way you can deal with the edges. And let's go and can we create another box that we can use? Nah, it doesn't look that great. So as you can see, we have decent amount of pieces, not too much. So make sure there's not like a lot of pieces in single line. One here, 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 and we're good to go. So as you can see, the pixel cutouts are ready and they are kind of random and rushed. So once the selection is ready, and also one really important tip before you do this, make sure your second option here is selected. Otherwise it will not allow you to make multiple boxes. And once you make a selection and try to make new one, this one will go away. So make sure you have selected the second one. After that, as you can see, I have my black color ready here on the foreground. Now to fill in black color in all these boxes at once, I will press Alt backspace, so it will fill in the black color. And meanwhile I still have my selection on, I will go to my layer 0 and I have selected this thumbnail, not the layer mask but the thumbnail, and then I will press Ctrl J. So if I turn this everything off, as you can see, it just made the copy of those pieces that we created using the selection of these black pieces. So, and also you can go to select and deselect the selection if you have it. So this looks really nice, and I'm gonna put first of all, let's rename this layer 3 and let's name it flying boxes, and put this on top of everything. And then I'm gonna go and select my move tool, and now I'm gonna press my shift key and I will hold it, and then I will drag it to the distance. As you can see, a little bit here, not too much, not too far away, exactly here. Now it's to add that depth in them that will make them look like it's a sort of 3D and it is actually coming apart from her face. So to do that, let's start with the black boxes. Turn off these flying boxes, we don't need them for now. I'm gonna double click on these black boxes and then I will select bevel and emboss. And in the bevel, I'm gonna increase the size. But as you can see, when I increase my size, it is making it smaller, softer. So to make it sharp, I'm gonna increase my depth, so it will make it sharper a little bit. Now it's too much depth, so I'm gonna decrease it back a little bit, and then I'm gonna adjust the lighting so it looks like it's coming from other angle. Yeah, so that looks really nice, as you can see. So it looks like there are actually holes in her face, and that is also the reason you have to select the black color as your background color. It is really important. Now you can use contour, but I don't find it really helpful because it just, I don't know, doesn't look that good. But if you find it helpful, good for you. Let's say counter, and let's increase the range a little bit. Yeah, counter also works nice. So I'm gonna hit OK. So as you can see, we just created the depth, and the counter is helping a little bit, not too much. And now it's time to add the depth in the flying pieces, and to do that, again double click on the flying boxes, and then I'm gonna go and select bevel and emboss, and as always increase the size first and then depth for the sharpness. But if you notice the difference, the light from these boxes doesn't look good. I want this highlight to be here. Now if I try to change it, it will also change the angle of these boxes, which I don't want. So let's first of all make it normal here, and then I'm gonna uncheck my use global light, and then now if I change it, it will not affect the black boxes, as you can see, and that looks really nice. Now it's time to add some shadows. So to do that, I'm gonna go and select drop shadow, simple option, and then once you select this, you can put your shadow anywhere you want. So I'm gonna put it here. You can also use angle manually, but it's just painful to use it, you know. So I'm gonna put my shadow here like this, and then I will increase its size to make it softer, and then let's adjust it a little bit on top. Yeah, and then I'm gonna decrease its opacity so it doesn't look distracting, instead just a slight shadow that gives it depth. So yeah, a little bit less, and that looks really nice, and then hit OK. So as you can see, there is this shape and everything is ready. Now select your make sure you have selected your flying boxes layer, and then press Ctrl T. Now right click and select perspective here, and then I'm gonna drag it a little bit in the perspective so it looks like it's coming off from here. You can also go this way like this, but that looks just not that good, so I'm gonna put it here and that looks nice, and then confirm it. Now I'm gonna go to filter, blur, and apply some motion blur. And in the motion blur, as you can see, I have selected a 0 angle, and then I'm gonna increase my motion a little bit, not too much because too much will ruin it. So that looks nice, and then I'm gonna hit OK. As you can see, there's the pieces that are flying away, the shadow to give it depth. Now let's worry about the lines now that we created, the grid. We are going to actually use it. So to do that, I'm gonna change its blending mode to overlay. So as you can see, there is a slight amount of depth here, but we can increase that. To do that, I'm gonna double click here, and first of all, I'm gonna select my outer glow. So now there is, as you can see, there's some shadow and the glow. And instead of this yellowish color, I'm gonna select a color from her skin, a bit more orangish, and that looks nice. And then let's increase the size a little bit. And let's go and decrease the opacity so it doesn't look very distracting. Instead it looks the part of it. And then I'm gonna just go and simply hit OK. Now if I zoom in, as you can see, it looks like there are actually pieces that are falling apart. The depth and the difference it makes, like using bevel and emboss, and also using this grid and the outer glow. Now this is a rushed product. All I wanted to do is teach you the workflow. Now let's go and study the actual file that I created, which is here, as you can see. So here, as you can see, pieces are a bit more smaller. I took my time with adjusting the glow, and since I had smaller pieces, I could use more of them and adjust them even better and create different more styles. As you can see, 1, 2, 3 cutouts on the corner. That's amazing. So this way you can using smaller pieces and taking your time is the key. Do not rush it. This is the workflow that you know how you can create it. And to add that contrast, just go to create a new adjustment layer and select brightness contrast, and then I'm gonna add a couple of contrast in here, as you can see, so it looks more sharp, like cool, as you can see here. Now if you create something like this using my tutorial, you can go to my Facebook page and post it there. I will happily review it. And as you can see, this is here. Let me put it on full screen so you can study this one better, because it the time was taken using this video. I took my time, like making this effect. So as you can see, the way I have adjusted the pieces here and the sharpness. So I really hope that you learned something from this video, and if you did, hit that like button so I can know. And if you have any kind of questions or suggestions regarding this video, feel free to ask them in the comment section below. And if you want to check out more videos like this, you can click on any of these boxes and check out them. Plus you can click on the subscribe button, so it will take you to my channel where I have more than 75 free Photoshop tutorials. And after subscribing, every time I upload a new video, you will get the update for that. So till then, goodbye, take care, and have some fun with Photoshop.